You know that feeling when a game goes wrong and the crowd turns silent? One team loses, the other celebrates. Everyone goes home. For you, losing means a bad weekend.
Great.
For the first people who played this game, it meant something else entirely. In 1400 BCE, in a city called Chichen Itza in what is now Mexico, two teams walked onto a stone court. They played a ball game. Rubber ball, stone rings mounted high on the walls, crowds watching from above. The game lasted hours. The skill required was extraordinary. And when it ended, someone died. FIFA was founded in 1904. This game is 3,500 years older. And it tells us something about humans that no history textbook ever explains. Let's start with what we actually know. In 1862, a farmer in Veracruz, Mexico, was clearing land when he hit something solid underground. He had found a colossal stone head, 9 feet tall, weighing 40 tons. It belonged to the Olmec civilization, the oldest major civilization in Mesoamerica, dating back to around 1500 BCE. And the Olmec had a ball game. Archaeologists know this because they left rubber balls behind. Not one or two, dozens, found in waterlogged deposits near their ceremonial centers. The oldest confirmed rubber ball dates to around 1600 BCE. That is 3,600 years before the first World Cup. Mary Pohl, an archaeologist at Florida State University, spent years excavating Olmec sites. She found that the ball game was not recreation. It was the center of Olmec public life. The courts were built before the temples. The ball game came first. So why was a ball game more important than a place of worship? Because for the Olmec, it was both. The court was shaped like a capital I. Long, narrow playing area, high walls on either side. Players could not use their hands. The ball had to be kept in motion using hips, knees, and elbows. The rubber ball weighed between 6 and 9 pounds. Getting hit by one at full speed caused serious injury. Players wore protective gear, thick leather pads on hips and knees, yokes carved from stone worn around the waist. Stone yokes weighed up to 30 pounds. Wearing one while playing was itself a feat of physical conditioning. The stone rings mounted on the walls were the target, about 27 feet off the ground, roughly the diameter of the ball itself. Getting the ball through the ring was so rare that according to several historical accounts, it ended the game immediately. The crowd would rush the court. The player who scored was entitled to claim the jewelry and clothing of spectators, which gives you a sense of how rarely it happened. David Wilcox at the University of Arizona published a detailed analysis of the game's mechanics in 1991. He estimated that a skilled match between evenly matched teams could last 4 to 6 hours. No substitutions, no breaks in the modern sense, just continuous play under the sun. The physical conditioning required was comparable to modern professional athletes. These were not people casually hitting a ball around. This was the most prestigious athletic competition in the ancient world. Now we get to the part everyone asks about. Did losers actually get sacrificed? The honest answer is, the evidence is more complicated than the popular version. The stone carvings at Chichen Itza show a decapitation scene on the ball court. A player kneeling, another standing over him, a severed head in one hand. For decades, this was interpreted as proof that losers were executed after the game. But in 1991, archaeologist Inga Clendenin at La Trobe University in Australia published research challenging that reading. She argued the carvings may depict the winner, not the loser, being sacrificed. Dying in a ritual sacrifice was considered an honor in Olmec and Maya cosmology. The person chosen to die was connecting the human world to the divine one. Their death was the point, not the punishment. Cecilia Klein at UCLA spent 20 years studying Mesoamerican sacrifice iconography. Her conclusion? The ritual varied by city, by era, by the specific religious context of the game. In some places, death was part of the ceremony. In others, there is no evidence it happened at all. The truth is more interesting than the simple version, because the game itself meant different things in different places. The Olmec game did not stay in Veracruz. Ball courts have been found from Arizona in the north to Honduras in the south. Over 1,500 courts identified so far, across 3,000 years of continuous play. Richard Fox at the University of Tulsa excavated ball courts in the American Southwest in the 1990s. He found that Hohokam people in what is now Arizona were playing a version of the game around 700 CE. 1,000 miles from the Olmec heartland, the same shaped court, the same rubber ball. The game traveled along trade routes. It moved with merchants, with diplomats, with ideas. The Maya adopted it, refined it, built some of the largest courts in the ancient world. The Great Ball Court at Chichen Itza is 168 meters long, longer than an American football field. The walls are 8 meters high. The stone rings are mounted 6 meters off the ground. Standing inside it today, you understand immediately that this was not a casual game. This was architecture built to impress, to intimidate, to make the game feel cosmic. Here is where it connects to what you watched this summer. The 2026 World Cup has 48 nations competing, 3.5 billion people watching. The Olmec had one court in one city, thousands of people watching from stone benches. The scale is different. The function is identical. Michael Mandelbaum, a political scientist at Johns Hopkins, wrote in 2004 that team sports serve the same social function as warfare without the casualties. They give large groups a shared focus, a common identity, a reason to belong to something bigger than themselves. The Olmec understood this 3,500 years before anyone had a word for it. Their ball court was not a stadium added to their city. It was the center of their city. Everything else was built around the game. The temple, the market, the administrative buildings. Because the game was how they expressed who they were as a people. And that has not changed. Not in 3,500 years. The next time you watch a match and feel something you cannot explain, that pull in your chest when the ball hits the post, that collective groan from 80,000 people at once, that is not a modern invention. Your nervous system is running a program 3,500 years old. The Olmec farmer who watched the first recorded ball game in 1600 BCE felt exactly what you feel. The same tension before a penalty, the same release when it goes in. We did not invent sport. We inherited it. From people who built stone courts in jungle cities and played for stakes we can barely imagine. Richard Deal at the University of Texas spent 40 years studying the Olmec. His conclusion? The Olmec ball game is the most direct ancestor of every team sport played on Earth today. 2 teams, 1 objective, crowd watching, outcome uncertain. That formula has not changed. It did not need to.